We tend to treat our past like this, a permanent ledger of exactly who we are, or a dusty photo album with dried ink. This static view limits your options. If the past is a locked book, then your current character is already decided, leaving very little room to navigate toward a different version of yourself. But cognitive psychology shows us that memory does not work like a camera. It is highly malleable. Every time you recall an event, your brain reconstructs it, editing the details based on your current state of mind and your present expectations. Because we misunderstand this, we often let our most painful or sensational moments carry the entire weight of our self-concept. Meanwhile, we often ignore the quiet, ordinary decisions that actually drive our daily behavior. Letting unexamined memories default into your defining narrative is like wandering through a dense forest without a compass. You're simply letting gravity decide where you end up. Instead of a photo album, you need to treat your memory as a map. It is a terrain filled with landmarks, routes, and deliberate annotations explaining why you placed each marker where you did. This means the exact same memory can support different versions of you, depending on what you, the mapmaker, choose to highlight. This is the work of an identity architect. Rather than accepting the story their brain defaults to, an architect deconstructs their past and rebuilds their self-concept to serve their future. To change how you move through the world, you must stop acting like a passive tourist in your own history and become its active cartographer. Take a look at this structure. This is an event card, the first physical tool for mapping your memory. We start by splitting a specific memory fragment into two zones: facts on top, interpretation on the bottom. You have to separate what objectively happened from how you felt about it. Let's say you were working on a finals paper at the campus library, and at 8:30 p.m. a surprise power outage hit. Up here in the facts section, we record pure data. Who was involved? You, a classmate, and the library staff. What happened? You stayed until 2:15 a.m. to finish a 20-page paper using a shared power bank. Where and when? The library, December 12th. Now we move to the bottom section. This is where you document your interpretation. This is the subjective meaning you assigned to that night, where you decide why pushing through the dark actually mattered to you. By pulling the objective data apart from your personal takeaway, the mechanism becomes clear. The power outage didn't forge your identity. The meaning you assigned to it did. But an isolated event card isn't enough to guide you. For a memory to influence your future decisions, you have to attach a value anchor. Looking back at our library card, you identify that staying late demonstrated perseverance under constraints and practical problem solving. We attach that specific value to the card to lock it into place. Do not skip this step. If you recall an event without explicitly binding it to a value, that memory will drift. It remains an isolated anecdote rather than a structural pillar of who you are. Applying that anchor converts a messy, random Thursday night into a deliberate tool. It becomes evidence of what you are capable of. Before you rely on this new landmark, you have to audit it. We run the card through a rigorous 2-question stress test to ensure the narrative actually holds weight. Question 1 checks for internal alignment. Does this event support a core value you actively want to grow? If the story you're telling yourself clashes with the person you want to be, you must revise your framing of the memory. Question 2 checks for external utility. If you told this story to a roommate right now, could you distill it into 3 sentences that help them instantly understand who you are today? When a memory passes both questions, it graduates from a passing thought into a reliable, load-bearing landmark for your identity. Now we watch this system scale. If we zoom out and combine 5 of these tested event cards on a single grid, we construct a comprehensive values map. A strong map requires balance. You plot high-stakes finals weeks alongside ordinary decisions, like how you handle a delayed bus or resolve tension in a group project. This proves your core capabilities exist in everyday contexts, not just under intense pressure. By charting deliberate routes between these diverse, anchored events, you build a cohesive logic for your behavior. The pattern you trace across these memories dictates how you will react to the next challenge. Shifting the narrative weight of these memories changes the internal logic you use to make future decisions. Your identity becomes the specific path you choose to highlight through the terrain of your past. Here is your immediate task. Today, select one concrete memory from your life. something specific enough that you can describe it in a single paragraph. Run it through the process. Isolate the raw facts, attach a single value anchor, and compress the takeaway into a 15-second story you could share with a peer. Stop letting a fixed version of your past dictate where you can go. Pick up the pen and start mapping your future.